Morning, everybody. TGIF. It is Friday, January 26, 2024. I do believe this is the last Friday of the month. Dang, we are just trucking right on through here on 2024. I want to talk a little bit about our almost epidemic of disruptive behavior. We've got juvenile delinquency is becoming rampant. And I don't know if it's because, we're more connected, more outlets of news, more things making the news, or whatever it is. Juvenile delinquency is being weaponized. And this weaponization was going on pre-pandemic. So we can't blame the pandemic as the cause, but what we can blame the pandemic on is pouring gas on the fire. And by that I mean, I'm thinking, hear me out, that the pandemic, along with all the other shit shows and problems that it caused, it is a catalyst for the rise in juvenile delinquency. And why is that, Big Daddy? It's because during the pandemic, in our near mass self-incarceration, our children were restricted to social media for social interaction. I mean, we may have still had kids that like to play outside and ride their bicycles and climb trees and on a straight path to normalcy, all of a sudden locked inside the four walls of their home, handed a phone or a laptop and said, you can't leave the house, you've got to do your studies, your schoolwork, and your socialization, talk to your buds and shit via technology. Well, you know, guys, kids ain't dumb. Kids ain't stupid. Am I saying there ain't some stupid kids? Yes, there are some stupid kids. But, you know, the youth of the world are like a sponge. If we put them in a swimming pool, they're going to soak up nice clean water and be full of nice clean water. We throw them in a swamp, they gonna be stinky and funky and soak up all the funk. In the early days of computer programming, yeah, I'm old, we had a phrase called gigo. G-I-G-O. Garbage in, garbage out. You know, instead of going out to a vacant field somewhere with your buds, making mischief, playing football, finding a water hole and going swimming while mom and dad are at work, we threw our kids into the cesspool that is the internet, with online predators, pornography, and etc., 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 infinity. We basically gave online cyberbullies and flash mobs, which, you know, I'm going to tell you guys, flash mobs was probably one of the most diabolical things that they did online. Why does that, Jay? Why is flash? Because what did they do? You tested a fence. You got multiple young persons to meet in a location, dressed usually a specific way, to create chaos in a harmless way. They tested a fence, and that fence was how many people could they get to meet at a specific location, dressed a specific way, and cause mischief, dance. Once they did that multiple times and it became a thing, they knew that they could get kids, young adults, to meet and do public demonstrations and stuff like that. The next part of it was just feeding that mind that just wants to do something and wants to support a cause, any cause, a rebel needing a cause to feed. And you throw in on top of that the gravy on the biscuits, you probably get to break something or start a fire. So bring matches or lighters and shit like that. Get in mom and dad's liquor cabinet and bring their vodka or their good bottle of Crown or something like that. And we're going to make Molotov cocktails and show you how to light fires and stuff. You know, I grew up with Little Rascals, The Sandlot, riding my bicycles to a vacant lot somewhere with high grass and bushes and shit. And figuring out who could get to the gas station with enough money to buy a pack of cigarettes, and then we'd look cool. But if you take those kids back in the day, when I was a kid, playing back behind the church football, or we had this one time, it had rained really hard for a while. The back of the church was flooded. We'd go back there, play football, and the grass would get beat down. It was almost a slip and slide. Come home, just mom not even letting us in the house, just said, nah, go straight to the garden hose and wash off before you can even come in. Go strip down to your undies, then go straight to the bathtub. You tell that group of kids, hey, let's go around the block here and set a dumpster on fire. There's a chance that we might do it. Especially if you see, a couple of our buds doing it. And especially if there was no fear of getting caught. The wonderful thing about the internet is its anonymity. You live behind an avatar. You function in this cyberspace behind an avatar and a alias. But this group is also being bolstered and emboldened by the fact that they know if they go to jail, they're getting bailed out, and it's not mom and dad doing it. They are told, don't call your mom and dad. You're going to get one phone call. Call this number here and they'll bail you out. So it's not for, a long time, or if it at all, that mom and dad even know your kid was in trouble. Tell your mom and dad, hey, I'm going over little Billy's, or hey mom, I'm going to little Susie's house. We're going to have a sleepover for the weekend. You get arrested on Saturday, you're out on bail on Sunday. You called the anonymous number that got you out of jail, and then they're not only getting you out of jail, they're getting you out of jail and they're providing you an attorney so you never have to go back to court. So your parents don't even know. You're not even getting a court case. It's not even going to the mail. You're not putting your address down. You're putting the anonymous address of your attorney down. There's only like a handful of these kids that got arrested during the summer of love that their mom and dad even knew they got arrested. I guarantee you that. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, gigo. Garbage in, garbage out. Be involved in your kid's life. So what if you don't make overtime that week? So what if the bills are a little bit late? So what if you're not eating steak? So what? As long as kids don't give a rat's ass, as long as they're being fed. Kids don't give a rat's ass. They want mac and cheese and fish sticks or chicken nuggets anyway. That shit's dirt cheap. They want time with you, people. They want your time. And if you're not giving them the time, the internet is. Their friends on the internet are. I know. My mom and dad, my dad was, hard-working workaholic. When he was not at home working, when he was not at work working, he was on weekend, he was fishing, never home, hardly home. Mom, she'd rather be next door gossiping with the neighbor. But you know what? I had my friends. Let's go, Brandon.